Shivam. So today we will focus on Sutra number 32. Let us focus on 31 little bit and then we'll move to 32. Okay. All right. Dukha, daurmanasya, angame jayatva, śvāsa praśvāsāḥ, vikṣepa, sahabhuvaḥ. Dukha is integral part of all the antarayas. Right? Dukha. The first thing he writes, Dukha. Dukha is the associated feeling along with antaraya. And it has to be because something is obstructing your way. Some obstacle has come in your way of progress. Or you may say that you are not able to follow your own discipline which you have set for yourself. You are not able to pursue your own aspirations. And therefore, dukha shall be associated with those antarayas, means obstacles, those vikṣepas, chitta vikṣepa or antaraya, whatever you understand. Those antarayas are physical as well as psychological as well as emotional, right? Here, further, you may find that these associated vikṣepas are discussed. Dukha is topmost. And this is available for our experience in the day-to-day life also. Is it not? Whenever we want to achieve anything, whenever we want to set any goal for ourselves, whenever we set a discipline for ourselves, and if we fail or if any obstacle comes, we find ourselves experiencing that sorrow, dukha. Last time we asked about that what is dukha, and many variations of experiences were shared. All that combined is dukha. In such a state, whatever you can say, apart from ananda, broadly there are two categories of experiences. One can be termed as sukha, another can be termed as dukha. Yes or no? Apart from the ananda, the transcendental state of experience, the whole experiences of this life can be categorized in the category of sukha or dukha. Therefore, dukha, by mentioning here dukha, Patanjali probably is further want to pinpoint onto associated dukha with whatever your progress you want to make and you are not able to do. Further, any dukha which is coming in the way of your practice. In Patanjali's system, yoga is samadhi. It should be clear. Yoga is not anything else but samadhi. And the characteristic of samadhi has been described in second sutra itself. What is yoga? Chitta vritti nirodha. It's a discipline, and the discipline means this characteristic. What is that? Chitta vritti nirodha. That means you have control on your chittam. If you say it's a control on your chittam or chitta vrittis, it definitely means in the beginning it will not be all-round control, all-time control. And therefore samadhi cannot be a phenomenon which will continue to exist. If it began, it will end also. This should also be understood. Samadhi gives us a window in which we can recognize our true existence in this system. Nobody can forever stay in samadhi. Patanjali agrees. Nobody can forever stay in the chitta vritti nirodha state or the highest state of nirodha, which is attainable only when your vairagya ripens to a very, very high level, which is called parvairagya. So before parvairagya, there are so many stages of samadhi, and that is what you were reading. Asmita, Ananda, Vichara, Vitarka, etc., etc. And then he is giving these are the obstacles, and they can be tackled by your pranava japa, for sure. This is what he meant. All antarayas will disappear when you are intently doing japa. Here in this philosophical understanding, pranava is that word. But pranava as a word, pranava as a mantra has to be received from someone who has experienced it. See, pranava as a mantra, you might find that it is available. Every mantra for that matter is available. You find it in writings at so many places. Anywhere, any mantra you pick up, any book you pick up, it begins with that pranava. But does that mean that pranava which is written on a piece of paper will become a mantra for you? That is something you have to understand. It is not going to be. And that will be clear in the 32nd Sutra. But in 31st Sutra, let us first focus here. The dukha, daurmanasya, mind not being good, that you in a certain state of irritation, any other negative emotion, which is tainting your mind space, which is called daurmanasya. Angame jayatva, which is equivalent to shaking or the tendency to move. While you have to be staying in a particular asana or pose, completely free from body experiences, body awareness, becoming focused onto prana experience. Instead, you become body centric in your experience, and therefore you have a tendency to engage your body in certain movements. That is called angame jayatva. That means your asana is not stable. That you have a tendency internally, subconsciously, and how is it experienced by most of yoga practitioners? When you decide to sit in a stable pose, suddenly in that air-conditioned room, which you have fairly sanitized, a mosquito comes. Your eyes are closed, you don't see the mosquito, but it gives you a bite. And you start getting some itching somewhere. And this itching forces you to go and scratch that place. It happens. But later on you find there was no mosquito. But itching, very prominent. Does that happen or not? It happens. Try to stabilize yourself. As such, if you are focused somewhere in any of the activities, such tendency may not arise. But especially when you are trying to control the vrittis of the mind, it will find very clever ways to disengage you from that effort of disciplining itself. These are the strategies of mind to throw you out of that higher pedestal in which you start operating when you start interacting, minding, controlling, modulating, directing, or stopping your mind. Mind says, there is some itch happening. Please attend to that first. Does that happen? It happens. Actually, this is angame jayatva. Effectively, you are not able to sense that your mind is playing games with you, and you give in. And the sensation is so real, it cannot be ignored. For example, all our life, we are living by the perception or the sensation which mind creates for us. And we run after that. For example, there's nothing you can say that this is the most tasty thing in the world. Why? Because someone may like it and someone will not like it. Even that. Correct or not? So whose projection is this? That this one I like. It's mind's projection. And you give in to that. You never question it. And you always go by that. I like this, I don't like this. Whereas there is no logic in I like this, I don't like this. Most absurd statement is I like this, I don't like this. If I ask you which color you like, you'll say I like a particular hue of pink. Then I'll ask why. You will say, I just like it. There's no reason behind it. I just like it. And also at the same time, probably he'll say, I don't like blue. You see. Then question will, why don't you like blue? He will have no answer. Most of our likes and dislikes are like this. They find no ground when we challenge them, when we reason them out. And all your life you have been living on the basis of likes and dislikes. Who creates it? Mind does it. And you give in to that without questioning it. And therefore, mind has more control on us, more than we can actually think of. And thus, even when mind is playing tricks we don't understand, the itching, the sweating, the pains, the stiffness, everything, for 3.5 hours, you sit in Bhadrasan, Vajrasan and Dandasan and whatnot in a theater. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. No itching, no sweating, no pain, no stiffness. Right? Because mind is engaged in experiencing the variety, which it actually wants variety. It wishes to jump from there. It doesn't want anything steady. Constancy, it doesn't like. Because in constancy, mind loses its strength. And our whole life, what were we running after? Variety. Whose characteristic it is? Mind's character. Whereas our intellect knows, firmly knows, this is right, this is not right. But we still engage in all such activities which our mind prompts. So which of our faculties is driving us? Not our intellect, but our mind. Mind is driving us means what? Mind is creating turmoil within its own substratum, which is called emotion. It also stirs up your energy, which is experienced in the form of palpitation, a skipped beat and whatnot. And then also it goes on to further add to your movement of body. Mind has this much control. And therefore, mind, when you start giving him a discipline, giving it some kind of a particular job, which it doesn't like, it will create obstacles. Angame jayatva is one of them. Your tendency to get engaged with your body, attending to your body rather than the mind. Mind does not want to be worked on. For a few minutes it tolerates and then It says this guy has become serious about it, it seems. And the moment it realizes, it sends you those faulty signals. But they are so real. Why they are so real? Because we have never taken all those sensations of likes and dislikes, pleasure and pain and so-called whatever, cozy and discomforting, never challenged it intellectually. And therefore, mind has so much control. We always gave in, and therefore mind has this much control. And therefore, even this feeling is never doubted. The mosquito biting us, despite room not having a single mosquito around, itching, scratching, everything. So you tend to attend. So this is called angame jayatva. This is also associated with all those chitta vikṣepas and all those things which antarayas which we have discussed. These are the associated symptoms as I told last time. But please understand, topmost thing is dukha. In dukha, only two things happen. Either you move or you freeze. You freeze means you don't freeze like a siddha yogi. You freeze like that you don't want to do anything. That means you're loaded with tamas, inertia, which is equivalent to alasya, which is equivalent to styan, all that. And therefore, this dukkha can put you in a state where you don't know. Suppose you have something to feel sad about and you are feeling it, genuinely so. And on that day, one of your friend comes and offers, let's go out. Kahin nahi jana, I don't want to go anywhere, right? Unable to take charge of your even body, that you want to, move from this place. Dukh. All so-called, getting bored is very subtle current of dukkha and alasya combined. What is being bored? Being bored is only proof that you don't like your own company. Those who say that we rarely get bored, they should look at their own life. Are they spending enough time with themselves? Probably not, and therefore such an occasion doesn't come. The real test is when you spend time with yourself. Don't attend to anything else rather than be with yourself. So this getting bored is actually daurmanasya. Associated dukha. Dukha or sadness of being with yourself. This dukha is unavoidable. Unless you choose to be in somebody else's company, get engaged in certain activity. Yes or no? Otherwise, it is unavoidable. Think about those yogis who chose to stay alone in so-called cave. If they start getting bored, will they be able to stay there for even a single day? And look at it. Even when you come to ashram and we ask you to be enough is enough, now get back to your own silence, get back to your own rooms, get back to your respective places, or find a corner for yourself, be there alone. How difficult it is. And this is daurmanasya. Sitting for meditation, and actually daurmanasya comes, what happens? Suddenly you feel, enough, ठीक है, 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, yeah, enough. You don't recognize. Your mind has started playing game. So such subtle games, such subtle feelings, such subtle sensations mind creates in at emotional level, at physical level. And this we never challenge. These are the important things. And then śvāsa praśvāsāḥ. Last time we talked about it. But remember, this śvāsa praśvāsāḥ is only that experience of heavy breathing, suffocated breathing, not able to breathe properly, shallow breathing, all that. This will come. Whenever you are sad, your breathing changes. Whenever you are bored, your breathing changes. And therefore, bored people would what? After 2-3 minutes, this is what they have to do. For the simple reason that for that duration, they were not breathing properly. Body was starved of prana. And therefore, getting bored. And I really wonder, nowadays, small kids have started declaring that I'm getting bored. And some of you probably would relate to it. In your childhood, I don't think you ever got bored. Something to interact, something to play with, something to know, something to experience, something to experiment with. You never got bored. And ask girls, how can they become bored? If they have nothing to do, they will stand in front of mirror, appreciating their own beauty for hours together. They never get bored. Males too, by the way, don't take a dig only at women. You have also done it. You have also stood in front of mirror. You have also spent some time with it. And why could you do that? Because you liked your own company. You were appreciative of what you were. Although you needed a mirror for that. But this mirror, if you have well within, you will always reflect on your good points, bad points, every point, right or not? This is how real reflection happens and real journey happens, real contemplation happens, real transformation happens when you be with yourself. And when you're able to see your real reflection in something what is called unbiased, untainted chitta. This is what it is. Having a well-balanced buddhi, which is in samatha, which has a goal, which has a purpose, which is trained enough to deal with all the inputs which are coming, right? So that is why these things become our associated feelings, associated symptoms, vidantarayas. Now comes 32nd Sutra. 32nd Sutra says, Tat pratishedhartham eka tattva abhayasa. What do? You say, to do away all these obstacles, all the vikṣepas, antarayas and all that, what do? Eka tattva abhayasa. Which tattva? Patanjali has already introduced that tattva as pranava. And by the way, as I was discussing, that pranava as a word, written word, is not the mantra. It will not bring about that effect on you, that kind of a transformation it cannot bring. Because mantras are not the sounds. Mantras in their whole system of mantras, we know that mantras are a kind of personality. Every mantra has a body. Body means it's not the body which is made up of 5 elements. It's only made up of one element, which is called akasha tattva. Why? Because mantra is only sound. And therefore, mantra's body is akasha tattva. So every mantra has a body. It is made up of akash tattva. Every mantra has a soul, which is the essence of the sound itself. At a subtler level, you understand what is the soul of the mantra. The soul of the mantra is effectively the sound itself, the vibration, the spanda which it creates. And the body is akasha. And as per our tattva shakti vigyan, you will understand that very clearly. Tanmatra is the cause for tattva. Therefore, tanmatra is the soul, and akasha, shabda, is the soul, and the akasha, the space it occupies, the kind of tonality and the kind of quality of that space which it creates, is the body of that mantra. Understood? So the essentially it's sound, but is it the same sound which we produce using our vocal cords? Definitely not. We are just trying to imitate that as close as possible, but that is not the sound. That is not the sound or soul of the mantra. And if you go to tantric text like Shiva Sutra, they will tell you there's a mantra virya. One word is mantra virya. A mantra virya means essence of mantra. And essence of mantra is that spanda, that sound with which this world comes into existence. See, everything began from where? The world. And for that matter, the whole cosmic space around us, everything which is tangible to us, which we feel, which we experience, is manifestation of Om. So if you ask what is the body of mantra? Om, this whole universe. The whole universe. Tangible, intangible. Whatever exists in subtle and physical, everything. Because from that tanmatra, you see that in descending order how the grosser elements come. The journey like that. And they all are rooted in one thing. That is your own mind, chitta. So effectively, when you finally arrive at the mantra virya, it is, in the first understanding, it will be your chittam itself. Then it will be linked to your higher tattva, which is intellect itself. Then it will go to prakriti itself. Then it will finally be, the source of it all will be you. That is Purusha itself. Understand? So basically, mantra virya will have stages of revelation. Stages, multiple stages of revelation. Mantra reveals itself. Its soul is revealed to us. But only a mantra which has been given by a person who has experienced that mantra in that form can work for you. Otherwise, what happens is, generally we will be in Bhranti Darshan. In the first place, it is not going to work. Why? Because mantras are not transmitted like this. And many Tantra teachers will tell you that it's not easy for ordinary people to actually experience the cause and effect of this mantra as Omkar being the cause, the pranava being the cause, and the whole cosmos being the produce of it. It's very difficult. And last time I gave you that example of Panini Sutras also, where I said to be able to arrive at a certain grammatical rules, a language itself, how the words are to be formed, how words are to be arranged, how they have to be arranged in such a way that they make sense, the rules, etc. It is said that the cosmic Purusha revealed himself in the form of sounds, certain sequence of sounds, and not one, but many, not 10, but even more. 14 different type of sequence of sounds were given. Therefore, you can understand. Basically, Patanjali is not interested about the particular vibration Omkar is creating. He is not actually interested here, at least in this philosophy. He is actually anchoring on something else. That is tadartha bhavana. He is not giving you mantra sadhana. By the way, later on you'll find that Patanjali does give that. But as far as in this highest upaya, Patanjali has only symbolically said that the mantras can be taken as ekatattva abhyasa. Which mantra? The mantra which you receive. Not necessarily the pranava. And then there are various stages. First thing is, of course, it should be revealed mantra. That means mantra which runs in a proper teacher-disciple system in which the mantra comes intact. This is how. Or a mantra which is revealed to you. Not that you scratch your head and say, this mantra you take. Mantra which has been revealed to the master, revealed to the teacher, and then he offers. So this revealed mantra works. But let me tell you, if we understand the chemia of mantra, the alchemy of mantra, single mantra in tantric tradition is not used. There is certain sequence. So initially you are given a mantra which is called personal mantra. For sure it is. There is always a personal mantra. The first mantra which is revealed to you is that which works on you as per your current composition, current hindrances, challenges, the kind of impurities you have, the kind of capacities you have. That is why you know that in Tattva Shakti Vigyan initiation, you are revealed a mantra. The mantra is revealed from Guru Mandala. And from there you are handed over that mantra. This mantra is called personal mantra. Some of you are initiated. Many of you are initiated. Only few are not initiated. And therefore you know that. So that mantra comes to you and that mantra has to be worked with. That brings about changes. But that's not all. Tantric masters tell us that a mantra has to be, one mantra takes you to another mantra. Then further mantras. This is how it comes. At least in the system of Krama, this is the way we work. And it's more logical, more understandable, and more rational. Is it not? That yes, this is how our progression happens. Our experimentation with mantras happens. We are not given the highest and most refined tools to work with in the beginning. So initially, only hammer. Yeah. First you run through everywhere, yeah. Giving a blow, hammer. Then hammer perfected, then a chisel is given. Right? Then so on and so forth. Continues. At later stages, you'll find finer tools are also handed over, and so that you can create finer machinery. With a hammer and chisel, and with a hammer only, with a hammer and anvil, you know what could you create in your Smriti workshops. In the beginning, it is very difficult to handle sophisticated and refined tools even. The mantra in itself is a tool from our perspective. From the perspective of the seer, the mantra is the essence. Mantra is a knowledge of a particular principle. So mantra is that principle revealed for the seer. Mantra is that principle which is revealed in certain sound. That's the ultimate. That's the highest tanmatra in which you can receive anything. What else you have? Most refined tanmatra, what you have, what you can experience is sound. Using sound, probably everything can be communicated. Even sound can be used to paint a picture. That means sound can create rupa also for you. This is how you can understand the sound is the most subtle experience in our being. And that is why I always say, it is better to be not having eyesight, but at least having ears. No problem. Because if you have access to sound, you are still blessed, because you can get so many things. We always feel that no, eyesight, vision is probably most important for us. But look at it. If you really contemplate over this, you will understand sound is much more powerful, a medium of communication, expression, and receiving wisdom rather than vision. Understand? So, rishis and seers, they receive mantras. Mantras means principles are revealed to them. How would they communicate it further? Think about it. If a principle is known, how would you communicate it? You'll have to use the highest expression, which is sound. And the next best, when it comes, this is called the yantra. Now it is visual. So from mantra comes a yantra. From yantra, then how to use it. The procedures, the activity part, which has to do with your hands and legs and whatnot. That karmendriyas. So from Gyanendriya, the highest Gyanendriya, Shabda, then Rupa, and then Kriya. So from mantra to yantra to tantra. This is the flow. So here, in the system of yoga, they are not talking about many mantras. They are not relying on it, at least here. In the first samadhi part, they are not relying on anything else. Only they say tajjapa, right? We say tajjapa, tadartha bhavana. Bhavana is what something which he wants to be always present while you are doing japa. And he has, in a way, dissociated, created a distance between mantra being a personality and mantra being the creator. Please look at it. Why? Why he said tasya vachaka pranava. He says his name is so. Ishvara is someone, but name is something. His name. Tasya vachaka pranava. He doesn't say pranava is the Ishvara. If you ask a tantra practitioner, he'll say the mantra is the deity. Because mantra is that principle through which the deity is created. Understand? For him, Ishvara is something very subtle. The name attributed to him is pranava. Right? So he has also created some sort of distance between these. Ishvara and his name. They're not the same here. They're not the same. And when you actually want to work on mantra yoga, they will say the entity is not higher, rather than the name is higher. I'll tell you how. It is said, even an ordinary villager will tell you, Ram se bada Ram ka naam. They will tell you. Ram Naam, the name of Rama is bigger than Ram. These people are actually following the similar principle which Tantra masters are following. The name itself is the deity. The exact reflection which we perceive as Rama is not Rama. The word Rama is Ram. Okay? The manifest one, because what we are seeing is as per our wish, as per our liking, as per our emotion. That also we should know. The effect of Rama, the word mantra, Rama, is one manifestation there. And that is why in Ramayana of Tulsidas, at one point he says, Jaki rahi bhavana jaisi prabhu murat dekha tin taisi. It is that place where he says that Rama appeared, and this is the time where Rama arrives in the Swayamvar of Sita. This is the occasion. When he is walking down the street of Mithila, so many watchers are there. Different people are looking at Rama, and they all are viewing different version of Rama. A mother is seeing a son in him. A woman is seeing a husband in that, right? And so on and so forth. Someone who is tormented, he's seeing a savior in that, right? The one who is ill-hearted is seeing enemy in him. All that is happening. So depending on what is our capacity, the swarupa of this word Rama will reveal to us. And therefore, Rama word is not the Rama which we know. We will know, even if we know a particular aspect of Rama. Therefore, as per Tantra's understanding, the word Rama is much more bigger than Rama. Because it will reveal so many other things than what you're perceiving of Rama as of now. So that way, Patanjali has created a distance, somewhat distance, by saying that Tad Japa Tadarth Bhavana, he is focusing on Bhavana more rather than the Naam. Of course, anchoring has to be given. For that, he has given a name. But his focus is on Bhavana. Not on the name, not on the alchemy of the name. The way it works through our own being. Because he's not discussing mantra sadhana. Although he's hinting about it. That this is a possibility. Eka tattva abhyasa. It is the possibility. So whichever tattva you take, wherever you go, in whatever tradition you are, Eka tattva abhyasa is going to help you. Going to help you in what? Going to help you, as per Patanjali, in destruction of all obstacles, creating a fertile state of chittam, a very convenient state of your emotions, manage the state of mind, and control on your thoughts. This is what he means. Eka tattva abhyasa will reveal many aspects of it. It's working if we do it. In the system of Patanjali's yoga, he says you have to chant, and also at the same time you should be doing bhavana of that entity. And he has given certain aspects that these are the things you should think of. And I have explained that very elaborately, how a particular aspect of Ishvara, which Patanjali defines, can change our inner environment. Like someone who is not affected by klesha, someone who is not affected by vipaka, someone who is not affected by sanskaras and all that. Someone who is sarvajna, someone who is guru of the gurus also, someone who is not bound by the time, beyond time, all that. So when you focus on certain aspect, you tend to see that suddenly your mind has started getting dissolved from all this which was occupied earlier. I can give you, just to revise, just think about that it is beyond time. Ishvara is beyond time. Now think about it, beyond time. If you will try to think, if your mind tries to think beyond time, it will dissolve. That is why Patanjali is insisting on the attributes more than the name. Think of something which is unstained, completely clean. No klesha at all. When you think of no klesha at all, you actually start experiencing no klesha. Because your mind becomes one with that. Try to do that, you will find it. So Patanjali is banking on attributes more than the chemistry and alchemy of the mantra or vibrations there. Let us be clear. Because Patanjali's whole insistence is that control your mind, get your mind in the right frame, where from you have some higher experiences of your own existence, of the reality that is. Patanjali is actually saying that when you stop taking help of your so-called physical organ, these gross organs, the chittam in itself is capable of perceiving everything. Or else, later on when Patanjali will take us to pratyahar, etc., all those steps, pratyahar means that you are shutting down your senses. And after shutting down your senses, how higher knowledge can be revealed? Your source of knowledge is only through these five senses, yes or no? If you shut down all those senses, where from you'll get it? It is said that the chittam itself will receive it for you, and there itself it will be revealed, which means you'll start acting or understanding the whole experience which you are currently having at a very, very subtle level. Despite the body not being there, without taking help of these bodily cognition power. This is what Patanjali is saying. So therefore, to arrive at such a capacity of mind, you have to come to that state where mind is purified. Mind becomes free of all its turbulences. It becomes like a mirror, which is ready to reflect everything on it without giving its own background music. Yeah, this you need to understand. See, anything, I'll just give you one example, then you understand. All of you use microphone, through which we are communicating, most of us, right? What is microphone supposed to do? Whatever you speak, it has to literally translate, not adding anything of its own. If it doesn't add anything of its own, it's fine. This is the perfect mic. But suppose it starts adding its own omkar here, then the mic has become useless. Understood? Exactly the same way. If our mind is like this microphone, this apparatus, which is not producing anything on its own, then it is capable of receiving what is as it is. So only in the state of chitta vritti nirodha, where mind is freed from all the noises, the inherent noises it has, in the form of vrittis, when the mind is stilled by command, by taking charge, when it is stilled, it reflects the reality as it is. Wherever it focuses, it reveals the reality. There is no need for anything else. Because it is not limited by any of its precepts, concepts, presumptions, or previous knowledge also. See, becoming free of memory means what? Becoming free of memory means that you are also not relying on anything you already know. And that stage comes when mind becomes completely free from all its noises and all its recollections and all its previous garbage. If it is put to rest and mind becomes available as a mirror, whichever direction you face, the exact image, the exact knowledge will be reflected here. This is what Patanjali is teaching us. And actually, this is the beginning of it. He is not interested, or rather, that you get to know all these things around you. But definitely you would know he is revealing. What he is interested in, that this mirror be turned this side. He is not interested in the mirror. Of course, he will suggest that. All sampragyat samadhis are about that only, which are vitaraka, vichar, ananda, smita, etc. But ananda, smita, etc. are the higher samadhis. That means the mirror is now facing ourselves. But vitark vichar are about something else. So most of people who seem to be having some extraordinary perceptions, reading everybody's mind, giving ganda taviz and whatnot, talismans to people, and giving certain processes to people, they are those people who are having that sort of control on their mind. And in that state, they receive. Whatever they receive, they can tell. And this is a very, very easy thing for any practitioner of yoga if he spends certain time on himself or herself. It's not a very high kind of magic. It's nothing like that. Don't you people sometimes feel like interacting with your mother, father, they somehow know what I am going through? There's a disconnect, because they don't have any other thing to ponder on. Their dharana is 100%. You see, ask a mother. Mothers are really more capable than fathers. Mother would know about what is happening with her child. Why? Because mother has always considered that child to be part of his being or her being. She could never separate that entity from herself, and therefore she is always connected in that sense. And all out attention on one entity, or that whatever entity is your child. So it's a perfected state of dharana for the mother. Mothers live in this dharana 24/7 about their children. Okay. So if they live in this dharana, something will definitely be revealed, because at times dharana can turn into dhyana. Even if it is about your child. Does that happen? It must have happened. Many a times your mothers have come to know that you are in some sort of trouble. You're not keeping well, all that. So I'm just saying that your mind has the capacity. It's not very high grade of sadhana which makes people get this power that I would, if I wish to know about you, I would not know. I would know. Easy for you, very easy. But you have to develop that kind of concentration, one-pointedness, which is going to be taught later on by Patanjali. Currently, he's banking on only two things: abhyasa vairagya. And by the way, abhyasa vairagya means you're not interested in the world at all. That is why I say this is the highest practice of yoga here being revealed. Probably not for most of the people who exist on this planet today. Yes, samadhi path is not for them. But the knowledge which is being presented, will it give us enough understanding? Yes, definitely yes. Not that we'll be able to use everything, because we are not capable. As we always say in our system of Tantra, that not a single person comes forward who is in sahabhuvaḥ kind of receptivity. What is sahabhuvaḥ receptivity? That the student came, sat there, he wanted diksha, the teacher comes, sits in front of, and then you sit. Capable of sahabhuvaḥ. What will happen? Teacher comes and declares, Aham Brahmasmi. Disciple understand. Yes, I can see that. And a minute later, he'll say, Tattvamasi. I know that. I can experience. Diksha over, Guru Shishya over. This is what it is. It becomes experiential understanding. This is sahabhuvaḥ. Do you think it happens? No, it can never happen. Why? Because there are so many preconceived notions about self. There are so many scores to be settled. There are so many things to be done in this world. And therefore, sahabhuvaḥ is always in that state of paravairagya. He's already there. He just needs to be directed toward the truth, the essence that he is. So only the reflection showing the mirror is sufficient. That is what called sahabhuvaḥ. Who is ready? Nobody is ready here. Is anybody ready on this planet Earth today for sahabhuvaḥ? Ask me. None. Not a single person probably. That will experientially immediately get that knowledge. Experientially. Technically speaking, all of you have understood it intellectually. And perceiving and fixating a particular kind of teaching or particular kind of principle in your intellect is a very, very lower kind of experience or knowledge. Because where is your intellect in all these sequence of tattvas, you know? Above mind, there is ego and then there is intellect. There itself. Beyond that, you have Prakriti, you have Purusha and all that. So at that level, you are not. And then your own buddhi, your own intellect is also not steady. In the morning you say, I have a very great morning, I'm very lucky. And by the evening you start declaring, I'm the most unlucky person in this world. Is it not? Does that happen? A year before, you were claiming to be the happiest person in the world, most fortunate person in the world. God was with you. Now, after 2 years, what happens? Seemingly God has forgotten me. He is barely interested in my life. He has dumped me. As if he is not God, he is your boyfriend. No. See, this is how it is. So, this we need to be clear. Patanjali is saying ek tattva abhyas. And here one tattva which Patanjali is actually indicating is of course omkara, pranava japa. Who will give this pranava japa? Now everybody gives it to everybody. Today what happened? Pranava, omkar, anyone, to everyone. This is not the mantra anymore. I would rather recommend that you just take this syllable as the name of that Ishvara and rather be focused on the attributes. Don't try to think that the mantra will work on me. The Omkar will not work on your mind. Because you can continue to chant Om and still plan that how can I pick somebody else's pocket. Om. Kalatini. And doing all sort of Ram Bhajan, and the Kalanemi, exactly the same person who says Mukh mein Ram Bagal mein churi. So just like Kalanemis, we will continue to do chant this Omkar, Om, and continue Om, and we'll pick the pocket, Om, and we'll take the bribe, Om, and what not? Everything. Does it help? It doesn't. It doesn't help. Please understand. Therefore, if a yoga practitioner today thinks, if at all he thinks that he is capable of using this highest method which is revealed by Patanjali in Samadhipad of abhayasa vairagya, if he thinks he is capable, he or she thinks that he is capable, then I know for sure that he or she is still not capable to use Omkar as a mantra. He or she will have to use the attributes rather, bhavana of that Ishvara to come to his or her help. So, Eka Tattva Abhyas is very important from our perspective, from our point of view. I have already told that we have a different way of giving this Eka Tattva Abhyasa. We say एक तत्व अभ्यास, एक करके अभ्यास, है ना? One by one, not one only. Tantra says, in our tradition we say one by one, not just one. Because in many traditions, and most of the Indian so-called traditional gurus, those who, what is it? Those who reveal mantras in the ears, kanpukka, that initial, on the day one is a Guruji Diksha chahiye. I want Diksha, I want Diksha. Okay, beta, come here. I want to give you. Ram Ram kaho beta. Sun liya usne? Ram Ram. Ram is the mantra for you. Do it. And they're doing Ram 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 Ram. Now all the village side, if you go, they will have a rosary. They will like covered in all that. That what you call rosary pocket or what pouch. They will Ram 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 is continuing. राम 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 भैंस को पानी डाला राम 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 राइट अरे लड़का नहीं आया अभी तक राम बहू चली गई थी अभी तक आई दिखाई नहीं पड़ रही राम 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 चाय चाय बनी राम राम दिस इज आउट सो राम राम lost no power left with it why because the person who gave that was also doing ram ram like this okay the Rama mantra was not received through that proper initiation. And therefore, it is not going to work like that. All right. And in our tradition, we say, ek abhyasa, one by one. Take this one, work on yourself. Continue with this, take another one. Now work again. Now take another one, continue to work on two, take the third one. This is how it is taken out. All right. So, Eka Tattva Abhyasa is really a very, very important practice in any place. Whether you are capable or not, people give that because that is the highest. Most of people are tempted to give that. And that is what is the abuse of a technique. If you are given the highest, when you are not capable of handling it, utilizing it, using it, it's abuse of the technique. It is not serving the purpose at all. The techniques are not faulty. Mostly, the process of judging a person, understanding one's temperament, stature, mental state, previous karmas, all that is mostly the teachers miss out, and therefore the techniques don't seem to be working.
All right, let's pray and then we'll leave. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Om Shiva.